Good morning. This is B from Kong to Russ. Happy Sunday, everybody that's joining us either on Facebook or on YouTube. And today's topic is pretty lighthearted, but at the same time, something that is near and dear to us. If you saw our thumbnail, we wanted to chat and talk about our loving pet, our missing Max that passed away, unfortunately, in January of this year. And Flerken. For folks that maybe were fans of the channel early on and saw some of my live modding videos, especially my outrun videos, I had my Max that was jumping on my arcades and was a big part of our family for the last 13 years. So we thought it would be an interesting topic to just have a casual Sunday chill and chat to hear from everybody that may have pets in their lives and see who else might be interested in giving us some advice. We've been in the market a little bit, and Mrs. Kongzarus is right next to me. She's actually finishing making her own breakfast because sorry again for starting a little bit late. We had a little bit of a late morning, but I have some avocado toast here. Again, we're getting our coffee, and this is a very casual chill and chat. If anybody has some thoughts and ideas about what's going on, we'd love to have you join us and say hello. So thank you guys for joining. Bill Wright's here. Gerald George is here. Ian's here. And for folks that may be joining us from Facebook, if you don't allow StreamYards to let us know your profile information, unfortunately, I can't see your username. But thank you so much for joining us from Facebook. So let's get the conversation started. So Bill says already that he has 2 cats and you couldn't be happier. You never thought you were a cat person, but my wife convinced me a long time ago you could get one and you couldn't be happier. You know what? I was the same way. I grew up and I had a dog myself, and I always thought growing up I would be a dog person. Good morning, Mrs. Kongzares.
Good morning. Oh, there's something.
And I think I was like you. It wasn't until, and I'll tell you the story of how we got Max, and Mrs. Kongzares can contribute to this, but it was 2008. I was away on a man camping trip and I come back home and Mrs. Kongzares is like, all right, there's this cat that we, is a hyperallergenic cat from a vet clinic that is up for adoption. And I was like, what? A hyperallergenic cat that's up for adoption? And I was excited to hear about it because I know that they're not cheap. And being the cheap Asian in me was like, how much do hyperallergenic cats normally cost? How much do they normally cost?
It's between $3,000 to $8,000 depending on the coloring, I guess. So this is the thing. It was called Lifestyles Pet. When I heard of Lifestyles Pet, the first thing I thought of was like the condom. Because I think it was
Really?
Wasn't there like a condom brand back in the day?
I did not put that together.
Yeah, and then you have to be on a wait list for a while. We got super lucky. It was this person who returned the cat because she didn't realize you have to take care of the cat. Like you have to feed the cat. They don't feed themselves. And then you can't return the cat to the original breeder. They're basically like damaged goods. So the vet had to put the cat up for adoption. And then we went to go meet the cat. There's another folk who wanted to look into the cat, and the husband was super allergic to cats and just said, you know what, it's not going to work out. It's not a good idea. The thing about hypoallergenic cats is that it's not that they don't produce any of the allergens. They produce fewer of the allergens that cause like our allergic reactions. And it's not actually the hair that makes it that causes the allergens. Sorry, it's the protein that's in their spit and in their urine. So when cats lick themselves, the spit gets onto their fur, and then when the saliva dries, the proteins still linger. So that's what causes the allergens to it. So we said, if we get a cat, you're going to have to clean it up really well. Make sure you're vacuuming a lot. Make sure you wash the cat every so often. So are we willing to do that? And yeah, we did. I would say for a good 2 weeks, we both suffered from allergies, but it was also a combination of he was getting in places that we don't normally dust.
But the long story short is that he was a $5,000 cat. And when he was up for adoption, it was like $200, right?
Yeah, $200.
About $200. So I was like, screw if he's hyperallergenic or not. Like that's a good deal. Like if you're searching for an arcade one up and you see something that's $50 compared to $400 or $500, I don't care what cab it is, you're picking it up because it's such a good deal. And at the time, I was like, wow, that's such a good deal for a cat. And so I got this thing where, again, I wasn't a cat person, but he had a really good personality, and like most cats I knew were really skittish, and he acted like a dog. He would sniff people when they first come into the house. He was really friendly. And I always had this saying with Mrs. Kong to Russ that would be like, all right, if I wanted to, if I didn't like the cat, I could totally flip this cat for like $3,000-$4,000 and be like, all right, I can make bank. But as time went on, of course, as they become part of your family, that monetary amount came down. I was like, all right, maybe I like him a lot. Maybe I'll sell him for only $1,000. And then it just kept going down and down to the point where obviously he assimilated fully. He became priceless, but it was always the running joke that he was my valuable pet, that if I wanted to, if I didn't like him, I could just flip him. But cats are commodities, or pets are sometimes, and there are some people that get into breeding and whatnot. And yeah, like for example, Bobby Vu is here. Good morning. Bobby has a really expensive pet. You have a teacup Maltese, right? I think you have a teacup Maltese that you said was a couple $1,000 you got from Korea, and it's tiny. Teacup, Buttercup, I think is her name. She's super cute, but again, tiny teacups. And there's all sorts of size with dogs. So that's the other side of the coin in the equation. Is like, we had an experience about 2 months ago where a random dog came into our lives, and I had a rekindling spirit of how fun it is to have a dog that is always friendly and wants to come up to you and wants to be petted. And
until she ate someone else's poop.
And you want to talk about the story about?
You wouldn't tell it.
What's that?
I'm eating. You tell it.
Okay, she's eating, so no worries. So random story. I woke up and dropped off my son, next door for grandma's house. And then when grandma says, there's been a dog sitting on our porch for the last like 2 hours, and I was like, what? Excuse me? And it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. So, and that means it must be like 6 a.m. since this dog. And I was like, are you serious? And my brother-in-law was there, and was like, yeah, we've been looking at the cameras outside to see where he came from, and the dog was just sitting there. And I peek out the window, and lo and behold, there's like this white beige looking dog that's like a medium-sized dog sitting there. And like, I was like, wow, like, where'd this dog come from? And then I kind of run back to Caroline, and then she's still sleeping. And I said, Caroline, you have a present outside for you. You have something that's been waiting for you to say hello, because she's been missing the fur friend, and even the opportunity and chance to just play with the dog for a little bit, I thought was a sign from our Maxie, just to send some friendly.
I love it. When he says, you have a present outside, my first thought is, I'm not helping you drag a goddamn arcade in the house. Like, no.
That's always the first thought that comes to mind. But the dog is outside, and it comes up to our porch. And so now the dog goes from the front house to the back house, and is so friendly, and just walks up and then starts sitting on our porch as I kind of call the dog back. And then Mrs. Kongzuras finally comes outside and says, oh my goodness, who are you? And here's the random thing. We have friends that have dogs, but apparently she likes to feed other people's dogs and has dog treats in her house, even though we don't even own a dog. So she's like, you never know when it'll be handy. So she already has dog treats that she's taking outside and giving to this dog that she has no idea whose it is. There wasn't a collar, right?
No, there wasn't a collar.
No collar.
We couldn't feel a microchip, like where you normally feel it in the shoulder blades, like that lower part of the shoulder blades.
Yeah.
So we started posting on all the Nextdoor app, on like Facebook and everything like that, and no one responds.
Yeah.
So we're just sitting there going, what do we do?
Yeah, so we did the whole thing. We're like, oh my God, this is a lost doggo. What are we gonna do? And there's a couple of different Facebook groups in the South Bay area that say South Bay Lost Pets and Friends. And I even had to put out an APB message to any dog owners about what you might do in case your dog went missing. Like, what are some of the places and tips that you would go to? And most people said that, hey, you probably should take it to a vet so they can scan to see if there's a microchip, because technically you can't really feel it. Like sometimes you can feel it, but other times you can't. And it's definitely interesting. But hey, for folks that are watching on Facebook, I see PJ and Gina that are watching. Thanks for checking in. And I guess I got to say hi to chat from YouTube as well. So Ian's here. Good morning. Devil Waldo is here. Kion is here as well. I saw some other folks earlier today. Gerald George, thank you so much for being here.
Did you see what Tony C said?
What did Tony C say? All right, Tony C says, I have 3 cats. None of them I actually wanted, so another would just follow the pattern. That's interesting. So most people, I don't know, are you a dog? Are you a cat person? I'd love to see it in chat if you're one or the other, just so I get a good sense of the community and friends that are watching. Like, are you more of a cat person or are you more of a dog person? Sorry, I just dropped my wedding band.
He's single, ladies.
Wouldn't be the first time that I have lost a wedding band ring, which might be a story for another time. But thank you. She found my wedding ring. Thank you. But long story short about the doggo, we spent almost half the day. It was a work day, so like we had to work. I was taking meetings. She was taking meetings. She took meetings outside to stay with the dog. You wouldn't let the dog inside the house. She still has priorities about not letting random stranger dogs into the house. But otherwise, she was like petting him, her. It was a her, right?
Was it her?
Yeah. So you want to tell the story of how you reunited the dog with the owner?
Yeah. It's like we are in meetings. Of course, she decides in one of my Zoom meetings to bolt out of the house or bolt out of our property. And I'm trying to join a Zoom meeting on my phone, chasing after this dog. She thinks it's a game. So every time you get close to her, she runs a little bit. And I'm just like huffing, telling my like colleagues, like, I'm so sorry. I need to get this dog. We finally get a dog. So Mr. Kongs or us went to Petco and got a leash and got some dog food. Thank God. So I'm not just feeding this poor dog treats. We bring her back. And then I found an opening in my window to take her to the vet to get it scanned. And it turns out her chip was actually really low in the lower back. And even the vet was like, I'm surprised that it's there. Usually it's higher up where you can feel it. So we find out her name. We find the owner's phone number, but unfortunately the owner's not picking up the phone. So what we actually, I asked the vet to just like, can you call and I'll call, and like in between the two of us, eventually we'll reach the owner. Luckily, I guess it was like the owner's ex-roommate, that was her phone number. She picked up the phone and said, let me call the owner and then we'll reunite you with everything. And it all happened really quickly. Like I think within an hour after taking her to the vet, I was able to find the owner, and she was ecstatic. The owner had just had surgery. He wasn't able to take her out for a full walk. She managed to get the garage door open, which is why she had a little cut on her nose, but she was happy to be with her papa, and it was a fun reunion.
Yeah, and I barely got to play with the dog. I was in meetings.
You didn't want to play with her.
I did at some point, but after you took the dog to the vet and you came back and you pretty much reunited the owner, so I didn't even get to say goodbye. The dog was really sweet. It was one of the sweetest dogs I probably ever seen. Like
you didn't touch her the entire time.
I did. I petted her
with your foot.
I did. She was on my leg, so I mean, like I didn't want to get my hands out there. No, I was kidding. She was super sweet. Again, she sat on our porch, and out of all the houses in the entire neighborhood that she could have stopped at or she could have ran away to, she sat at our porch for 2 hours waiting for Mrs. Kong's Rust to start taking care of her. And so there's just like random connection that pets have that I think it was, if you ever think about a sign from above or anything like that, if you believe in anything, but I really truly felt that it was an opportunity for, us to just connect with another four-legged creature to come back into our lives. And just, she's such a caring person. She always knew she wanted to be a mother. She always knew she wanted to take care of somebody. And just the opportunity, I knew she would just jump at the chance to take care of this doggo for a day and reunite them with their owner, which is really satisfying to see. So I'm glad that we're able to do that as well. So, but we asked the question. There's some chat responses here. Oh, Double Waddle's asking first off, what's for breakfast?
Oh, I already
Important question.
ate it. It was
it was a Dexter egg.
Yeah, a fried egg with what I call crime scene, because I usually load it up with so much hot sauce.
Yeah, and then I just have some avocado toast.
Although you have to try this one. This one is a mango seltzer water. Sanzo is a brand that is focusing on like Asian flavors. So we got lychee, and then we have like the little Filipino lemon. So try this one.
Oh, cool. Yeah, awesome. I just wanted to say hi to my old buddy Monica Buckout. Thanks so much for watching us. I know that you're waving and saying hello, so appreciate you coming in, and all the folks that are here watching on YouTube as well. All right, so get a new pet. Oh my goodness, we have somebody in the backstage. Yeah, she's checking in to say, oh, we'll see. We have a special friend who is here. Crystal, are you here? Do you have audio?
I have audio. I'm turning off the mic since my students are going to be coming in soon, and I don't know whether they consent to being on camera or anything.
How are you, Crystal? Thanks for joining us.
I'm good. I'm out in the park, and I didn't know I'd be added to the show.
You clicked on the link to join us. So again, for my friends that are watching specifically, I always appreciate and value your feedback. I spoken with Krista, who's one of my friends, and she has a very much appreciation for dogs and specifically corgis. So quickly before you have to jump to class, like what's your quick thought on our situation? I know we already talked about dogs versus cats, but if you really had your advice to give to us, what would be your gleaming advice to give to us?
Well, I guess it's a time commitment thing. Dogs are much more of a time commitment than cats, for one
True.
thing. But then
Absolutely.
dogs, I think, are a lot more fun or give back a lot more. I mean, cats can,
Yeah.
but cats can also do without you. So it's kind of interesting to have a dog that's more independent, more dependent on you. And then dogs can kind of do more. So it's a pro and con there. But if you get a high energy dog, you have to put in that commitment there. There's pros and cons. I would heavily weigh towards dogs just because I like dogs more, and I particularly
Yeah.
like corgis a lot because they're very hardy. Although I used to breed Pomeranians too. I think you guys knew that. Um,
A
and
long time ago.
Pomeranians are fun also, but Pomeranians are more delicate.
Such interesting points there about, again, I grew up a dog person, but cats were so easy to take care of. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Like you
cats are
just
easy because you can kind of just leave them there.
you put a poop box out there, you give them some
Yeah.
food, and that's it.
Yeah,
And then you
yep.
want to play
And
with them when
dogs,
you want to
nope.
play with
Dogs
them.
require exercise. Yeah, dogs require
Yeah.
exercise and energy and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
there's all that. And yeah, you have
Yeah.
to pick up after them. You can't just teach them. You can teach them to go in a particular place, but still, it's not the same.
That's super awesome. All right. Well, thanks for joining
Thank
us, Crystal.
you.
We appreciate the time and
All
thoughts.
right, take care. I
All right,
gotta jump
take care.
off.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.
Bye. Yeah. So for folks that are watching and you know, my personal friends that want to join the stream, please feel free to jump in. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you're interested, and other folks that want to join in too. Or actually, I want to get back to chat because there's a lot of good chat discussion on this. This is such a topic that's going to hit both everybody. So let's go back to Kion and says, Kion has 3 pets. Get a new pet. You have 3 Sphinx and you're allergic to cats, but not them. Oh, wow. Sphinx cats, right? That's a specific type of cat.
Yeah, that was one that came
Mhm.
up on like the list of like hypoallergenic cats. So just
Yes.
to preface, I'm allergic to cats.
Okay.
He's allergic to cats.
Yes.
And then our oldest is allergic to cats. So
Yeah.
we definitely have to find something that's like a happy medium for all of us and be able to like survive. But I know over time you can get used to a cat. That's obviously what we did with Maxie. And you just have a different regimen than what you do with cats. You don't just let them linger. You have to wash them every so often, which you know we're down.
Cool. Awesome. So Fighters Evo Blast says, get a microchip. You have a Frenchie. Raymond, what's going on, Raymond? Good to see you.
4
You love
cats.
both, but you have 4 cats now? I would never have pegged you for a 4 cats kind of guy. So maybe 1 just to have, but 4 cats. That's getting
Crazy
into some
cat dude.
It's getting into crazy cat dude status, Ray. You got to tell me. Ray, come join the stream, man. I would love to chat with you for a little bit. Ray and I were old coworkers, so it'd be really cool to chat with him
Oh,
again.
Jack Russell.
Jack Russell named Sayla. Oh, that's beautiful, Ian.
I
Thanks
can
for
see
sharing.
it. And full of joy. They have so
All
much
right,
energy.
Tony C says that he's more a cat person. You just don't like having the cost of pets, which each cat was a wife cat. Does that mean that you're spending lots of extra funds to play with your cats? But yeah, I mean, cost of pets, I mean, it pretty much
I
is another,
understand,
it's
yeah.
another kid, right? So it's just part of your family that you're going to have to, especially when it gets to your end of life and you have to deal with some of the med costs and things, which
Yeah.
unfortunately, I mean, that's always an unfortunate part of things, right? But
You know
yeah.
what's funny?
Mhm.
A coworker told me the other day, when you take your pet to the vet and you find out something's wrong,
Yeah.
and your kid's in the car watching you try to make that decision, do I pay for this? Do I pay for that?
Yeah.
You start to realize it's like when you get older and the kid takes you to the doctor, do I pay for this? Do I pay for that? So you kind of want to show them a little bit of compassion early on, and kind of explain to them like, this is a part of the family. We're willing to sacrifice and make these costs, even though you're like $700 for just one x-ray. I guess.
Yeah. That's so funny. All right. Gerald says that doggy and a bird lover now. So I don't think birds are in our future, but that's awesome.
I would like to know what kind of bird.
Yeah, Gerald, let us know what kind of bird you have. I'm curious now. All right. Dreamcast Kyle says he grew up with dogs, but a cat person now. Very similar to how I was.
So easy to take care of.
Yeah. Hopefully I switched over to a wired connection. So hopefully we're not lagging anymore. So appreciate you letting us know. Bobby says he's going to send us discount codes for cat foods and accessories from Amazon. Bobby View is the discount king and lowball king. So, all right, it's cool. So we had 4 cats at one point, Devil Waddle, but currently none. But interestingly, you had a sugar glider for you. What's a sugar glider? Have
A
you heard of that?
squirrel, like a type of squirrel.
It's a type of squirrel.
Mhm.
You can have a
I
squirrel
didn't
for
know you
a
can
pet.
get one of those. Yeah.
Speaking of squirrels, if you guys haven't seen Mark Rober's new squirrel maze video, it's pretty entertaining. So talk about other guilty pleasure things to watch, but I mean, that's a pretty popular YouTube channel. But I watched Mark Rober's funny squirrel video. And speaking of other animal things, P-Dubs the other night, I was on a live stream sharing with him, and I was listening to him ask about other guilty pleasure channels he watched, and he turned me on to this channel called Frog Time, where they do live feedings of an African bullfrog against rats, amazing other creatures. So I introduced it to my family yesterday. Did you like the Frog Time video?
A lot of why.
A lot of why, but yes, sugar gliders with squirrels. Interesting. All right. You just got 2 frilled dragons a month ago, 5 saltwater fish tanks, 3 sphinx cats. You're good with pets for a while. Kion, you have a mini zoo, man. That's awesome. We got fish and reptiles. That's pretty amazing. I mean, and if you're in NYC, does that mean, like, I always think about space too? Like cats and those type of pets are good for small spaces. We're in Southern California that there's not a lot of open yard space. I think that's the other thing that worries me about a dog. I don't have a lot of open yard space that, you know, is nice to have dogs go outside, and inside the house, yes. But yeah, that's one of the things that I have concerns about. Steve says we're awesome people. Thank you. Brad says good morning, Kongs. Hello from Facebook as well. All right. So Vlad says dogs are greater than cats. All right, we got some strong opinions here from folks that you think dogs are better than cats. Steve says a Corgi Beagle Miss named Butterscotch. He's the best and makes me smile every day. Yes, I think pets definitely do that no matter what pet you have. That's awesome. What says my dog eats his poop? So you had experience with that when you saw the dog do that. Like, did that turn you off a little bit?
Oh yeah, I was like, you're not touching me.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting to see. Well, I heard about the story about dogs eating their poop, but that's how they get to know each other, right? You know, you never know. All right, so it depends on what type of cat. There's high maintenance cats which require constant baths and ear cleaning. Interesting. All right, no worries. All right, Kion, you are running a zoo. Get one of those hairless cats. True. All right. Exactly, Brad. My dragon eel is a monster now. You going on? Do you have a dragon eel? Oh, was that what we were talking about? Kion definitely has.
Tank, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Keon's on fire in the Legends Kion boards. Yes, awesome. Very cool. So yeah, Legends Pinball, if you're doing leaderboards, I know AtGames is doing promotions for leaderboards. So definitely check it out. I think their main table right now they're doing is teed off. All right, so we have a Facebook user that says you have a chocolate lab. He is a great dog, but he plays with my bearded dragon. Interesting.
I want to see how big this bearded dragon is.
A bearded dragon and a dog. Oh, interesting. I have a Facebook friend that was saying that PJ was saying she's a dog person, but just got 2 Balinese cats. They're cuddled on your lap right now, and they like dogs, and they know how to sit on command. They're great, and you're a first-time cat owner. Thanks, PJ, for mentioning that.
Yeah, a Balinese is another one that I was looking at too. But like, if you're not familiar with the Balinese, was it Meet the Parents with Ben Stiller? That cat Jinxie, that's a Balinese.
Yeah, cool. All right, so more chats. So we got some congrats, catching up. Tony C spent $500 to have a vet patch up a cat you adopted for $50.
Well, the flip side, we paid $200 for our cat, and I think his final cost, because I had to calculate everything for insurance too, was like over $1,000. Yeah.
I mean, you make your money's worth over the time, but it's almost like if you buy a broken arcade one up for $50, and then you have to spend $500 to put, parts and new stuff into it to get it to where you want to. So you never know if you buy something for quote unquote on the cheap and knowing the work you have to put into it. The best analogy I can make.
Yeah, pet insurance.
Pet insurance, so you don't have to worry about the $700 bill. True. All right, so Gerald Jord has 2 lovebirds, Laserbeak and Peaches.
Lovebird.
I like that. A lovebird, if anything. All right, Tony C is saying that she has territorial and got in a bad fight. Oh, wow. Oh, for the pet that you have to patch up. Oh, I see. Interesting. Personalities are a big thing too, right? I think personalities are just as dynamic as a human personalities, and everybody's different. So you can't just say like, I always say, I still don't think I'm a cat person.
You're a Max person.
I'm a Max person. I loved my cat to death because he was the best. He had the best personality out of any cat that I ever saw. If I visited other cats and things, he was still the best. So I always think I'm a Max.
Plus, he's always dressed up nicely.
This is our. If you saw the thumbnail, Max the cat has been immortalized in portrait mode, and
Get it? He's an aristo cat. That's what this outfit is.
Aristocat. It's
Aristocat.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Super cute. Aristocat. So that's our cat. I mean, so speaking of Max, if you guys wanted to see what he looked like, since we like to take a trip down memory lane, I'll throw up the Christmas montage I put of him right before he started to get really sick, of just his long time history with us. But I posted this right around Christmas time as a tribute to Maximus, and at the time people didn't know he was sick, and they're like, is he okay? He's okay. We're like, no, he's still alive. But I just wanted to put together this little video. So we'll watch it together just so you guys can see the awesome Maximus that he was. So this was when he was in 2008, when he was just a kitty. And this is our apartment, our old college apartment, post-college apartment that we had. So yeah, pretty fun. I love how they can fit random boxes.
And he was basically a kitty at this point, 6 months.
Yeah.
Siberians are pretty huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Turn it down a little bit. He's just a fluffy cat. Yeah, cats are easy to take care of. If the family isn't away all day, I definitely appreciate that. There's the kiddos. So I mean, and then pets, they're good with kids too, right? And some cats, maybe they might not be good with your kids, but hey, look, he was taking care of the baby, and kisses, hello. I know, super cute. No animals. I'm away from home too much. You love animals though, yeah, for sure, Brad. You took your Blast, you went fishing and took your dog. I guess we could never do that. We can't take our dog or our cat with us when we go out fishing. But yeah. Sugar gliders are not squirrels. They're the world's smallest marsupials. They're similar to flying squirrels in the way they have skin flaps between their legs and glide between trees. That's awesome. I might have to Google that later. That's awesome, Double Waddle. Thank you for sharing. Kion, I will definitely check out your dragon. Yeah, I'm gonna go check out your page. I love the middle picture where he bit my son. You play with the what is it? Sometimes the dragon you get bit, whatever that phrase is. Sometimes you mess with the dragon, you get.
Sometimes you mess with the bull, you get.
Bull get the horns. That's right. You mess with the bull.
Dragon.
You mess with the bull, you get the horns. That's what he was. So that was our little family with Maxie. All right, that's a long video. I'm gonna stop it. All right, that's Oh, actually, I really like this last picture. You're trying to do Bat Cat. Bats Cats. We love the Maximus. Yes. All right, so that was our little mini tribute. Thanks for watching that with us and seeing how much we loved him over the years. I'm sure all of you have very similar montages of your pets too that you put together. But let's get back to some of the chat. Akuma Rev says, Kong is an owner of 3 Shiba Inus. Cats are disgusting animals that attract feces all over the house. To answer your question, no. Enjoy the freedom. This is a very strong opinion, Rev. Because we were talking earlier about how dogs eat other people's poop instead of tracking feces all over the house. Yes, they poop inside the house, but at least they go inside of a box and they clean up after themselves and they lick themselves clean. So, I mean, there's also butt drags that have happened in the past, though. So that was never fun. But dogs do that too, right?
Yeah. I'm surprised. Yeah. We have white carpet, beigeish carpet. And like the 12 years that he's lived here, like we don't have a lot of stains.
Yeah. Well, we just brought
mostly
really
have,
good
people stains.
Yeah, we have really good carpet cleaners. So. All right, Double Waddle says they're gray and black with long tails. They're small. They can fit in your hand. Love to snuggle in your pocket. So you're talking about the sugar gliders. Yeah, that's awesome. We have other small pets though. We also have chinchillas.
Oh my god.
So we had chinchillas. We had 2 chinchillas for a long time, and they're older than our cats. We had them since 2004.
Yeah, 2004.
So almost 17 years later, we still have one remaining pet chinchilla who's a violet. But we had a beige chinchilla who passed away about 2 years ago. That was a little bit on the fatter end. But yeah, our chinchilla is still running strong. But small animals, well, I think we grew up kind of with small animals, thought they would be fun to have, but obviously not as affectionate as a cat or a dog. And now she kind of just forgets about him.
What are you talking about? I'm the one who still cleans his cage.
Okay, I forget about him. But his name is Pika. He looks like a little Pikachu. He's really cool. Kion used to have sugar bites. See, they bite the crap out of you. So that's what the chinchillas do. That's what the small animals do. It's like, you cute, you want to hold them. And they start like nibbling on you. You're like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with this hamster. I'm done. Yes, Sean Watson has 2 dogs, Ralph and a Yorkie, and Izzy, which is a Maltese. Very cute, very
Cute.
nice.
Small
So we
doggies.
got some dog people in the house. Let's see if we can get caught up with chat. All right, my cat meowing at me, talking about all these cats. They know they have a curious, funny feeling. Let's not talk about my financially debilitating arcade one of my. Oh, this is about your $50 cab into $500. Yes, it's super super expensive. Get another cat, bro. You have experience with them already. That's true. You know, I think cats like to jump on arcade one-ups and pinball tables. I know that's the other thing about if I got a dog, they would eat up all my spare parts that I have lying around the house because I'm a modder and I have wires and nuts and bolts and wire. And I just, I'm consistently have stuff all over the floor. So I would be worried about a dog, even a cat. Well, our cat didn't really eat.
But then, like,
stuff.
it would be a new cat, and like maybe the new cat would jump on stuff. But like, I don't know if you noticed in any of his modding videos, Max was always on the floor. He never jumped on the arcades. Actually, we trained him really good. Like, he jumped on the countertops maybe once in his life, and then after that, never again. When he figured out the stove is hot, don't touch that. Other than that, like, we trained him to eat at the dinner table. So come dinner time, he has a spot on the table that he sits in a chair, a special chair, just his chair. And then we have a bowl of food for him. And he'll just sit there and eat his food.
Yeah, that's true. So interesting. He took up spaces in the house, right? That we made his spaces. And that chair is still his chair because the Aristocat picture is there right now too. So saying hello to other folks, Mitz and Angela, thanks for watching. So appreciate you guys checking in and saying hello. So Fighters Evo, so cute. Hey Wolf, thanks for joining in. Wolf and Nose is here. Pets love them dearly, but they're also like to be brats. Yes, they have personalities, and we've definitely gotten some stink face. We used to have Max where we called him like angry ears, where he'd be like really staring at you judgingly and then look like he's about to attack you. So although he attacked you more than he ever attacked me, but
I played with him more.
So Tony says you got 1 cat for free, the last great tabby, which she jumped on my $80 Arcade Game Factory Deluxe Pac-Man marquee, and 40th, you died a little. Yes. If they're destructive, it's just because they love it. Wolf likes cats, but dogs eat poop, by the way, though. So, yeah, we talked about this earlier, how we had an experience with the recent doggo that ate poop and turned Mrs. Kongzer off a little bit. But yeah, but you are more of a dog person, not cat. Oh, okay. So you're the opposite. You're more of a dog person. All right, you're just flip-flopping, Wolf. You got to make up your mind. No, just kidding. All right, Kion says you got that Pet Scoop Auto Box litter for years. Out of 2 of them makes life easier. Yeah, we have a litter robot. We have a big old litter robot that was amazing. And again, you could leave them for a day or two. Just put out a bowl of food. The cat may miss you for the weekend, but we could do weekend trips. So I mean, that's the nice thing about having a cat. Yeah. All right. Let's see if we have any other responses in here. They think you're gonna crush them. That's why they bite. Oh, the little animals, small animals. That's true. Chocolate Nab is named Kevin. Oh, cool. Very cool. Thanks for joining in. Big dogs will chew on your stuff, teething if they're puppies, by the way. So yeah, I did have a dog growing. Did you ever have a dog growing up or never? So you've never owned a dog your entire life. So I had a dog named AJ growing up, mostly in high school and partly through college. No, middle school is when I got him. But he was an Australian Shepherd, but he was mostly an outdoor dog. And we left him mostly in our backyard. So he interacted with us as much as we could. And my parents didn't allow him into the house. And he was a fun dog, but he just was crazy. We never trained him. He just ate everything. When he got out of the house, he would be the ones where, like, if he got out of the house, he would run around the entire neighborhood and I have to chase him down with a leash. Like, he'd be that type of dog. So I never had such an obedient dog where you train them and they would come back to you. Maybe that was my fault for not spending the time, but that's my experience growing up with a dog. I was like, dogs are just crazy. They'll just run around. But I guess you do have to curb them. You have to like train them. Cats always watch their step. Very, very finesse, right? Cats are super finesse. Steve says, my 13-year-old daughter has 3 pet fancy rats. They're actually very friendly, clean, and playful, super smart, and trainable. Mm-hmm. Fancy rats. Would you ever get back into small animals?
I don't know. We sank a lot of money into small animals. Like, how many hamsters did we have at one point in our lives?
Maybe like, I don't know. I think we went through like almost 10, but like.
Yeah. In the beginning, we went to Petco to get all our pets. We were young and unexperienced, and that batch of hamsters all had wet tail. So We took many hamsters back
Yeah.
to Petco because of wet tail. We took
The
many
Petco.
hamsters to vets because of wet tail, and then
Yeah.
we just realized like stop, no more.
Cats chew wires. Someone in my neighborhood has a pot-bellied pig. Talk about other types of four-legged creatures that you can own. That's I think I saw, what was it? Was it I think it was America's Got Talent, where there was a family that raised pigs and were training them to do tricks and things too. So very smart, very cute. All right, Bill says, my daughter is also has parakeets, and one time birds are flying around her room, and cats got in there, swatted in midair fight. The cat scratched out one of the bird's wings.
Oh my gosh.
So the issues of having a zoo in your house is your pets can fight each other.
Yeah,
so
battle royale style.
battle royale with your pets. But hello, Irene. How's it going? Good to see you. All right. Bill also says there was blood flying in the room. The bird brought the bird to the vet, and like it was just scratching.
Oh my gosh, that's super traumatic.
I know. I can only imagine like having pets fight each other and then having to clean up the bill afterwards for that. It's like if your kids are fighting each other. But with pets, I think you would just be extra angry because you can't really scold them afterwards. Like how do you what did you call it? Discipline a pet if they do something bad? Do you swat them on the nose?
No,
You
don't
spray
hit
them with water?
No.
Huh?
Well, I don't know.
You-
Max
You
is really.
hang them upside down and say, "You don't do this again."
You did that to him.
Yeah. Did you have any disciplinary moments with your Maximus? That
Yeah, a lot. I mean, like, a lot of it is how you communicate with the pet. So I know from the get-go, in order to have a very obedient pet, you have to be very strict in terms of like how you do your discipline, your regiment, and stuff like that too. So Max knew there was like a voice or a tone that he got if he did something wrong.
Yeah.
And then you'd also see that little look of shame that he recognized that he did something wrong too. So, and it was really sad because the last few days of his life, like, there was always that constant look of shame because like
he couldn't go to the bathroom.
he couldn't go to the bathroom on his own.
Yeah.
We had to take him to the litter box. You had to be patient with him in the litter box. Sometimes when he soiled himself, he's just like, dude, I can't. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
And the worst was like the diaper that we had to put on him. Like, yeah, that broke my heart too.
Yeah, I mean, cats are pretty proud, right? And so when they're hurt, they normally run around or not run around. They hide. They hide from you. So we never knew if he was really, truly sick the last couple of months, but he lost a lot of weight really fast. And that's always one of the biggest signs. But it was tough to kind of see him go through that. But at the same time, I appreciated how he on this very last day, right? The day that we're going to put him down, he hadn't purred in like weeks from when we saw him. And I knew that today was the day, and he was sitting in his little bed. And then I talked to him and I said, Max, like, can you purr for me like one last time? And like, he hadn't done it in such a long time, and he did. And I took this video, and Mrs. Kongzaros came over, and he purred for us for a good 15-20 minutes, and was just like, he knew that there was his final day with hanging out with us. And I know that you still miss him. We have a nice little patch in our yard that we buried him. We have an avocado tree, which will hopefully breed and bear lots of fruit moving forward.
Or you can be evil and just say, no fruit for you.
No fruit for you.
Yeah, I have to say it was funny. Like when Mr. Kongzaros was like, purr for me, the dude's like, all right, I'll purr for you. I walk over there. He's like, no, lady, I'm not purring for you.
So that just means he liked me more.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Well, because in the final days, she would always be taking care of him and like putting on a diaper and doing all the things he probably really hated. So
forcing him to eat.
Forcing him
to drink water. Yeah.
Yeah, but those are all like tough times. But we wouldn't have traded it for anything. He was an amazing companion, and I think we're ready. I think we've been shopping. You want to tell him about how you were looking for another cat?
Yeah, so like it was really sad too. Like so
I love this mortal wombat. That's really awesome. Good call, double wall. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so we found another pet. They have you fill out this super long survey and like ask you all these questions. I think the question that like kicked us in the pants was the fact that I put we're allergic to cats, and then if we couldn't manage our allergies within 2 months, maybe like that's the reason why we would have to return the pet. I think
That's it. No, thank you.
Yeah, no. But I'm kind of like that though. I like to time bound things so that I know like, is this an achievable moment? If not, then we have to rethink about how we're going to do our strategy. So like, if I'm being honest, then I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say 2 months. I know it takes less than 2 months, but I put 2 months because it's very generous time. And
Yeah.
especially since like I don't know how my son will deal, but I know myself how I'll deal with like the allergies. That just seemed appropriate. And they just basically went, nope.
And then she was so offended that, as longtime pet owners, and then the whole adoption process is different depending if you're gonna just go to a Petco and just go to adoption day. It's Sunday, by the way. They might have adoption
Yeah.
day if you want to go check it out. Or if we go to a breeder, like our friend Crystal that was here earlier, she has corgis and she has friends that have corgis, and they might be having a litter soon and trying to do a breeding thing. So we put our names on a potential wait list for a corgi. And she's always loved corgis, and so, but that's a long time. It would happen in October if it really does. So we have some time to decide if that's what we want, or if we want to get a cat now, or if we want a cat and a dog combination. Some people were saying they do both, right? And I always had it in mind. You can't have both. You have to have one or the other. But maybe they do get along, and it's just a myth. So. All right. So Gerald George says, my dog Harley looks like Max from The Grinch. Oh, but also tries hard. So hard, and lets the birds sit on him, chill, and their little claws tickle him. He's a great doggy. Go Pilot. That's awesome. Multiple pets getting along. Facebook user says that their grandma's cat left before she died, and also knew also to leave when they died too. So that's when they hide. Yeah, very much. Wolf is stating that they're very much family. Always hard when they go, but then again, we're going to as well. At least we don't eat food. Very good. Very good. Look on the bright side. All these pets in our lives have the best lives that they can have in life. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I mean, we give them the best we can. All of you guys that are joining. Thank you guys so much for joining this conversation and just sharing your personal stories on your cats and dogs and other pets and sugar gliders. It's great to hear how much they've impacted your lives and the variety of options you could have. Have you ever thought about getting a sugar glider in your life?
I didn't know we could do that.
It might be something that we take a look at. All right, corgis are awesome. Yeah. So again, I think we've had some experiences playing with our friends' corgis, and hope that it works out. Maybe. And I took my son over to Bobby Vu's house, and he was really in love with Cupcake, the teacup Maltese. Yesterday, funny enough, I think my son, he's 9. He's almost old enough now. He really wants, he truly missed having a pet. He took it for granted. He also hit him pretty hard. But yesterday we went to a farmer's market, and he wanted to see if the lobster at the seafood place we went to was alive. And we poked the lobster and it was alive. And I was like, oh, you want to buy it? And so she's like, okay. Like
a teaching moment. Yeah.
Yeah, a teaching moment. So she buys this lobster. It's still alive. It's in the bag. And I'm walking back to the thing with my son, and he's like, I wonder what this lobster is feeling. And I start putting on his web and I start putting on the act of what the lobster would be thinking. So I'm like, oh, I'm inside of this bag. I don't know what's going on. I think I had a good life, but I'm gonna be shipped food soon. And then he started getting this like, oh, I think I want to keep him as a pet. So we're almost gonna have a pet lobster for a day. And he's like, I'm gonna name him Lobby the lobster. And I'm like, if you buy seafood, it's actually a cheap way to get a pet. It's only $30 for a lobster, but can you keep a lobster as a pet?
No.
Long story short, we killed it and ate it last night. It was beautiful. It tasted great, but I think he's wanting a pet. So maybe we will figure out something to do pretty soon. Yes, Devil Waldo says, you love animals, but I hate seeing them get old, sick, suffering. You hate it almost to the point that you avoided getting any more pets. Maybe I'm going to touching on some psychological issues here. That's so true, though. When you go through that pain of loss, and as much joy as they give you through that time, like it's something that people don't want to experience again. And I can totally relate to it. I think my mom was like that too when she had to put down my dog too. She was saying never again. Like, right, as if you have to do that. But yeah, for sure. How you feel you continue to get pets, knowing how hard it can be in the end of days, which makes me think I'm nuts. So, all right, all the pet owners here really sharing their awesome stories. Thank you guys so much for checking in and saying hello. Probably will end pretty soon with just a super chill chat. We probably have a lot of things to do, and thank you guys all for watching this morning. Any last thoughts, Mrs. Kong, about getting a pet? Has this conversation swayed you anyway to get another cat, another dog? Are you still feeling the same?
It's hard. I mean, I think when you're in the moment, you feel better. Or maybe I had enough glasses of wine to say like, yeah, let's do this. But when people say like, enjoy your freedom, the weird part is that like I don't feel free. I just feel like guilty when you think about like, oh, I don't have to do this right now, and it's like, oh, that was weird. Like I had to stop a routine that I've been doing for 12 years. Like, not feeding him dinner the first night was weird. It felt like it's something I was supposed to do, but I don't have to do.
Mhm.
And then the same thing too, like he hasn't put away any of Max's stuff. So the litter robot, everything I boxed up the day after Max passed was there for him to put into the attic. And it's been sitting here for like 5 months now. Now we're like, you know what? It's still out. We could just set up everything again the same way. But yeah, it's just finding that buddy in our life. And yeah.
I love Steve's final comment. You want to read this, Mrs. Kong, to us?
Lol. Long story short, we ate it and it was delicious. Don't put that story on future adoption paperwork.
Good call, Steve. Good
I think I have
call.
to preface and say like lobster and not pet lobster. And
That's
the
true.
sad part was I had him watch me as I killed it, and I was explaining how to kill the lobster too.
Yeah, I mean, literally slice the lobster in half and then grilled it on a grill instead of boiling. But I mean, if there's a way to go, right? Would you rather just be instantly dead, or would you rather be boiled alive? I mean, all right, that's another thing for eating lobsters and crabs. Oh, you feel for everybody. But thank you guys all so much for joining. Have a wonderful Saturday. Great rest of your day. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.